Hey everyone, welcome back to another war video. This one, war number 3 of season 42, for Loki taking on PALO. You can see I have Apoc, Cable, and Colossus. Apoc's going to be doing most of the heavy lifting in this one. He's got 4 fights, Colossus has 1, so let's jump right in. I'm on path 3 to start, but both of these fights, the nodes don't do anything because this is the path where if they have an armor up buff, then it can be a little tricky, but I'm facing Tigra here on the first one. This does have backboard brawler, so you'll see I try to keep Tigra out of her corner so she doesn't get the passive furies and armor ups. You can see right here I'm just kind of getting back towards the middle of the map. But really, I use the Power Start 1. I have Mutant Boost on. I think it's 8 150s on for this one. But, you know, standard APOC nonsense, just cycle special 2. So you can see that almost was enough to KO. It pushed her to special 2, so I'm just turtling here, holding block, trying to re-parry. I do get the re-parry. I didn't need to throw the special 2. I could have just ended that on a combo, but we all love watching APOC special 2, so that'll do it for Tigra. Next fight is going to be Moleman. Now, Moleman is a global defender. So basically the way this global works is if you crit or if they knock you down, they get a passive prowess. And if they have prowess, then they get a passive power gain. So generally speaking, you want somebody who's got power control or, you know, something like that, or a way to remove the prowess. Apoc has none of that. And Apoc doesn't care. What Apoc has is a massive special 2. So you can see there I throw the first special 2. It does the vast majority of the damage, and I'm within combo range of another special 2. I throw that, and see you later, Moleman. So, you know, nothing too crazy for that one. That was about 30 seconds, and Apoc threw a second fight. This next fight is going to be node 20. I've taken this node a couple times now. Actually think I'm now 3 for 3 in wars taking this node. But this is Thing now, so this is a new one. So, you know, I've taken Apoc versus Thing a few times on a similar kind of node where it has the personal space regen. So I really just don't want too many regens to stack up. You can see there, I thought I parried. I don't know what happened. I just kind of threw a heavy, and Thing just kind of said, you know what, it's okay, man. It doesn't matter that you did that. I'll just sit here and take it, watch you whiff. So didn't end up being anything crazy, and it's not like I would have died anyway. It's just, you know, it was a little weird. Here I'm just waiting out the protection, but I parry into a special 2. You can see Thing's just natural health pool and his rock stacks for his health, for his additional resistances. He's taking these special 2s a lot better than Tigra and Moleman did. Here I throw a special 1 just to get the those last debuffs on. I tried to get them up to 15 there, but the concussion actually failed a couple of them, but I throw a heavy, and, you know, you can see Apoc able to handle that fight pretty easily. You know, the regen, I was able to keep it in check most of the time, so nothing too crazy there. So on to section 2. This is the fight I brought Colossus for. I've used Colossus against Havok on this particular node. This is path 4, the second fight, so basically this is the fight where he goes unblockable if I get too many debuffs on me. I start with a heal block, and Havok does place a good amount of those plasma debuffs, but in order for him to place the plasma debuffs, he needs to get 10 on him first, and then he kind of overloads the rest onto his opponent. The thing with Havok, though, is when you manipulate his power but don't power lock him, basically if you power burn him, power drain him, he gets his plasma charges removed. Havok is also a global defender, so he's getting some passive prowess, but Colossus being a global attacker, he is just removing them with every single hit. So this is essentially a duel. I mean, it's Colossus against Havok. Colossus is already an excellent Havok counter, but then you throw in the global interaction, the way that Colossus works with the way that Havok works, and I mean, this is as easy a fight. Normally in this fight, Havok will go unblockable at some point, and then you just got to kind of deal with it the rest of the fight. But in this one, he doesn't, because I'm just constantly able to keep his plasma charges down, and if I'm able to keep his plasma charges down, he cannot place debuffs on me, and then I am able to just easily just kind of go through 5-hit combos. You can see I threw the special 3. The special 3 gives me my passive armor, which makes me unstoppable, which did help me because I did eat the first part of a heavy. Because there's no plasma on me, the feedback wouldn't have done any damage. It wouldn't have been a big deal, but I was able to avoid the second hit. You can see, though, I did pop an indestructible boost just in case his power got a little too out of control. Colossus has really good power control due to the global, but you never know with that power gain, if Havok turtles up and just kind of sits there up to a special 3. But finally, it did take a little bit, but I'm able to throw that big special 2, and that's it for Havok. So definitely, I've taken that fight a lot. That was by far the easiest it has ever been. But last fight for me is going back to Apoc. This is Node 48 Kingpin. Kingpin is also a global defender, so I do want to be a little wary of that. Also, Kingpin and Apoc have a really interesting interaction because basically with Kingpin, the more debuffs he has on him, the higher his power rate. Here, I'll get back to the power rate in a second, but this node is basically every time a buff expires on him, I get a falter placed on me if I don't land a heavy or a special. I didn't, so I threw that heavy straight into a whiff. Thankfully, Apoc, as I've said a billion times, has more than enough health, so it's okay. But like I was saying, the interaction between Apoc and Kingpin, really quite fun, because Kingpin cannot shrug debuffs against Apoc. That includes his rage debuffs, so he just keeps building them, and then with every debuff, Kingpin gets increased attack and increased power rate. So that plus the global, his power can get a little out of control here, but again, as long as he's consistently throwing those specials, I don't really care. You saw he throw a special 2. I'd like him to throw a special 1 because that's a lot easier to deal with. But here I do push him to another special 2, and this would be a special 3, but Apoc able to finish him off with my third special 2 of the match. So that was a little bit of an interesting interaction just with Kingpin's power gain, but Apoc more than enough damage to get through it. So that will do it for me for this war. 5 fights. That gets me to 13 so far for the season. Able to get through all of them clean so far. Now a streak of 117. In terms of the war itself, we were able to win this one, so we started off 3-0. As of this video, I'm not sure which place we're going to be in, but I expect us to be relatively high in Master 1 due to our pretty solid start. So hopefully we can continue that down the stretch here. But that will do it for this one. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see everyone soon.